Welcome to Podnutz Daily, episode number 296. As you know, it's the show about computer repair where computer repair techs come on and they share their secrets and tips and tricks with you guys to help you in your computer repair businesses or just in whatever computer repair stuff you want to get engaged in. Joining us today, our tech for today, it's John May from evernet.co.uk. That's John with no H. What's going on, John?
I'm fine, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing very good. Thanks for joining us.
That's all right. Nice to be here.
I know it's late over there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just gone midnight here. So drank a lot of coffee this morning.
Oh, good. Thanks for doing that. No, I'm actually thinking about moving Podnutz Daily to 9 o'clock instead of 7, so you guys are going to hate me. But
yeah, we might have to sort out some kind of timed pre-recording first.
yeah, we have to work something out. All right, so what's going on with you? How's business? How's things?
Business is good. We're picking up now because we cater more for students. So now the university term's just started, and this is exam season at the minute. So people are getting quite antsy about their coursework and dissertations that are due in. They've got like a week deadline to do it, and they leave it until the very last moment until they can do it. And then their laptop crashes, or they can't print it, and then they phone up in hurried panic. I can't do anything. I can't do anything.
Of course, they wouldn't have it any other way. I know I wouldn't.
No, they don't back up the data. It's like Wednesday night. They ring up like 9:30 in the evening, and it says open until 10 p.m. So they got half an hour, and they go, "I got this dissertation. It's due in like 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Is there anything you can do?" I said, "Well, yeah, but it's going to cost you a lot more.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm just about to go to bed."
Exactly. Well, let me just say what your business is in case anybody didn't see a show with you on before. You have a business in what's the name of the town again? Swansea.
Swansea in Wales. Yeah.
In Wales, and your business is. Are you on a college campus or?
Very close. It's about 5-minute walk from the college campus. Yeah.
Okay, so you're 5 minutes from a college campus. You cater to college students. That's a big part of your business, right?
Yep, that's about 95% of the customers we get are college students, just because it's so close, and it's obviously it's a lot closer than the big stores like PC World, which is about 10 miles away. And if you haven't got a car, you're not going to walk it really. So
right.
It's quite a nice. People also like the fact that I'm a student as well, and they like the kind of by students, it's run by students for students kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a great niche. I think it's really good market you got there. All right, so tell us what you do if somebody wants their computer done right now.
I've moved on a little bit to actually answering the calls. I actually now pay a company to answer my phones for me. It's called a telephone answering service. It's this website called answer.co.uk, and they give you a number to route your number to, and then they'll answer the calls 24 hours a day in your company name and with the kind of company information there. So if someone rings the Swansea number now, a lovely lady in the call center in Surrey will answer it and it goes, "Good evening, Evernet support, how can I help you?" And then she takes the details and then texts me what they've said, so I can, and their mobile phone number, so I can ring them kind of straight back. And quite a lot of people have said, "Oh, I spoke to your receptionist the other day," or it must be such a big company with a receptionist." I go, "Not really. It's I actually pay someone to actually answer the phone."
No, you shouldn't say that. Say, "Yeah, well, that's my receptionist." No, you should be like, "Which one? I have 3."
Yeah, just so many administration staff. It's hard to keep up.
I just punched up their website now. So, are they able to duplicate the problems that people are calling in with and give you the answer of what's going on? Or, I mean, not the answer. Are they able to relay the problem that your customers are having to you so you know what the problem is?
Yeah, so I actually tested it because I wanted to test it before I actually put money into it.
Right.
So I called, I pretend to be this guy, and I said, "I've got a problem with my hard drive. I'm not sure what's wrong. Can you help me?" And the woman was very nice. She goes, "Oh, yes, I'll just take your details, and a technician will call you back in the next kind of 5 to 10 minutes." So she took all my details, and as soon as I put the phone down, I got a text from the service saying, "Mr. Joe Bloggs has got a problem with his hard drive. Can you ring him back?" And then the mobile phone number that I gave. And I mean, I could instantly then phone back, obviously not phone myself, but I could instantly then phone back a customer and instantly talk to them about what the problem is. But also in the same time, if I'm in a lecture or if I'm busy, I can always just change my status on the service and then go, "Well, actually, he's not available at the moment. Can I take a message?" if someone asks me directly.
Wow.
So
what are the prices?
Well,
what kind of prices are you looking at on this?
It's £1 a call, which is about 80 cents, I think.
That's it?
Oh no, is it the other way around? It might be like $1.20 or something. Um, yeah, it's a pay-as-you-go service, which is a good idea because if I'm not available and I found about 80% of the calls that go to voicemail, no one ever leaves the voicemail. So I'm just trying to answer the phone more, but obviously I can't answer the phone all the time. If I'm busy or if I just can't. If I'm driving or something, I can't answer the phone. And so this telephone answering service. I know it's a little bit more money. It's like £1 on every call. That's a core cost that I have to pay for every customer. But I actually get every customer in, so there's no missed calls. And it's kind of I probably get about 20% more work just because someone's answered the phone at like 3 o'clock in the morning for me, because obviously I'm not going to answer it. And then they've taken their details and say, "Well, someone will call you in the morning," and then I can get up, I get a text, and I can just call the customer straight back.
No, I think it's, as you guys say, brilliant. I think it's brilliant, a brilliant service because I relied on voicemail a lot of times when I was off hours and I wasn't in the shop. I relied on voicemail. I don't know how many people didn't leave a voicemail. And if for about it's I guess it is about $1.20 for us, if that's how much a pound
Yeah,
is. I think that's a translation. $1.20 is nothing for that
I know.
service.
Yeah.
And if they could actually duplicate it and the problem the customer's having and feed it to you guys properly, I think that's great. So are they 24 hours?
Yeah, 24 hours, and it's all British people. I mean, they answer the call, and they're all friendly people. And I mean, every customer I've spoken to, I said, "Oh, how did you kind of find our receptionist?" And they go, "Oh, very friendly," because they're not trained in anything technical. All they'll do is literally take what they say, type it, and then send it to me.
But they
So
know
if
you're a tech business, so they'll say that we'll have a technician call you.
yes, so there's a script, and it says it'll say, "Oh, John or whoever's available will say this person will ring you back in the next," and then however, if I'm busy, you can tweet the service and tell the service you're busy for like an hour or two, and then they'll say, "Oh, we'll give you a call back in 2 hours" or something. So it's kind of and it's linked into my Outlook calendar, so they can kind of see where I'm busy or when I'm busy, and then kind of give the customer a vague approximate time when I might be able to ring back.
How responsive are they to your customer service? Do they, when you want them to do something, are you able to contact them easily?
I mean, it's all done through a web interface. So you log in and then you just change the script. You can change the scripts. So when they answer the phone, I've got it set to good. And then if it's morning, afternoon, or evening, Evernet support, how can I help you? So you can change that to say anything so they can answer it and kind of the company name. And so basically it's a message taking service. And I've kind of just slanted it a little bit to be a little bit of a help desk. So it screens business kind of nuisance calls as well. So people phone up and like, "Oh, can I speak to the managing director or someone who deals in marketing?" And I hate those calls because they're just on the phone for like hours and hours just trying to sell you something you don't want.
You
And
stay on
obviously
the phone for hours with those guys?
no, I get to about 10 minutes and then my
10
patience wears
minutes?
thin.
I have 3 minutes of fun with those guys.
I like to have a little bit of fun where they go, "Oh, how big's your organization?" I say, "Oh, a good like 500 employees. What's your marketing budget?" "Oh, £500,000 a year or so." I like to kind of play with them a little bit, and
Yeah.
then just kind of, and then they get to the point. "Oh, when do you want to kind of enact this service?" And you say, "Oh, you want me to buy something? Oh, sorry, no, I'm not doing that," and then just hang up.
That's
They
great.
love that.
Nice.
So yeah, but I mean, it's very good. I mean, if I'm out on a call or something and I get an urgent call like from a customer, I can call back. But obviously, if it's someone from another business that wants me to buy something from them, I can then call back or email back at my
Right,
leisure.
right. That's
Right. So
it's awesome service, man. I mean, I think it's actually, so if I give them a phone number, like a U.S. phone number, could they work with that too?
I'm not sure. It's they give you a here they give you a 0207, which I think is a London-based number,
Okay.
and then I route my number, which is 01792. That's a Swansea area code, and I route that to their number. That's a specific number that they give you, and if anyone calls that number, or obviously routed through to that number, someone answers, and it's on your account. So the woman gets a thing on her screen, and it says, "Welcome, this is Evernet support. How can I help you?" And then they type in what the customer says and click send, and it goes straight to me,
Okay.
and I can then kind of go with what they say.
That's awesome. I mean, I would do this. I mean, I think it's a great service. I would recommend this to anybody listening. And even if, I'll tell you what, even if there is no American version, I think British woman is a pleasant sounding call, more pleasant than American anyway. So even if it is only a UK based system, if Americans could jump on that, I think it would work great. That's a great tip.
Yeah, and there's you can put in the company information. So someone asks, "Oh, where are you based?" They don't have to kind of look it up. It's all the company information they ask you for. So, like, what are your opening times? How much vaguely do you charge? Where are you based? That's all in the company information. So if someone asks, they can just instantly refer to the information that I've given them. And quite a lot of people have said, "Oh, it was nice to speak to a real person," because some of the time, if it goes to voicemail, all you hear is, "This is Evan at Sport. Please leave a message."
Right.
And most people, when they hear the voicemail, just click off. I mean, I'm quite guilty of that as well. If I ring someone and it goes to voicemail, I'll just switch off and I'll either try and find someone else or try and get in touch with them another way.
Right.
But voicemail is even for me, it's a bit of a switch off. So obviously, potential customers, I always think, well, actually, I'm kind of the same as they are. So,
Right.
and people like a nice, friendly woman answer the phone.
Exactly.
So,
So they're happy to talk to a nice fake person.
yeah, I
Basically.
mean, it's a real person,
A real
rather
fake
than like
person. A real fake
a
person.
real fake person. And I mean, this guy's like, "Oh, how big's the bit?" There's one guy coming in, he's like, "Oh, so this is just the Swansea branch then?" And I was like, "Well, no, mate, you're standing in the four walls of the headquarters." So it kind of does denote kind of professionalism as well.
Right.
It's only just a little bit. It's the little things, and if someone answers the call, because they try to answer it within like 2.5 rings or
Right.
something. They have
Wow.
so it's answered like really quickly, really efficiently, and they try and get as much information as quickly as possible, and then say, right, we'll get someone to call you back as soon as possible. And then it seems really quite professional. The receptionist has then given me a post-it note with it on, but it doesn't work like that, obviously. It seems like that for the customer.
That's perception. I think it's great. Nice tip, man.
So yeah, I'm not sure if there's an American service. Quite a lot of the English services are pay as you get, pay monthly. So like you might have to pay £50 a month or something, but this is the pay as you go. So it's a little bit more expensive per call, but you've got no monthly tie-in. So
I like that. I would do pay as you go. I'm all about that.
Goes. So if no one calls you, you don't pay anything.
Right.
But obviously, if loads of people call you, you've got to put more money in.
Right.
Which is fair enough.
I like it, man. Beautiful. Brilliant. What else you got?
Tip from podcasts to Podnutz Daily 291. You recommended Microsoft Small Business Accounting.
Yes.
I know if you've got TechNet, you can download that, and it's like a free edition or something. And like I say, it's just saved me so much paperwork. I had about this much in 6 months worth of receipts that I hadn't really. I mean, it just keeps growing and growing to the point where you don't really want to do anything with it.
Right.
And I got to the point that I sat down, I spent 10 hours with this program. Really easy to use, just click, 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 and enter all the information. And it's now gone. Everything I get, I just put straight through Small Business Accounting, 2009, I think it was. And it just saves me a load of paperwork. So if you're having trouble with, I had an Excel database, spreadsheet
Right.
that I was like, oh, it's a bit of a hack, really. Just like kind of sales expenditure, but obviously this you can like charge it to different accounts and stuff. It's pretty neat in terms of kind of reducing my workload and paperwork. So
I'm glad you like that. And it's like the in between step between Quicken and Excel. You know what I mean? It's not quick. It's what you should use if you don't want to use Quicken or QuickBooks, which I did not want to use. And it worked out really well for me. And I really find it hard to find that I'm promoting so heavily like this Microsoft product because they don't usually turn out to be so easy to use like that. But it really worked out well for my business, so I got to give it to them there. I mean, I use Microsoft. I usually just don't promote them. But this is it is worth promoting, so I'm glad you're using it.
Yeah, and you can use the reports. I mean, you can just customize the report, and you can see exactly how much money you got in from where and where exactly it was spent. Rather than on Excel, it's just said, "This is how much money you've got. This is how much money you haven't got."
Right.
And that was a bit like it's a bit of a useless number, really.
Exactly.
So I can see how much money I'm spending in advertising and marketing, how much I'm spending on telephone systems and bits and pieces. So nice, easy report, and it was easy. It's like big buttons. You press the big buttons, and that's what I like. It's simplicity. Yeah. New invoice or new customer, easy. So it might help someone out there.
Yeah, and it's very customizable. Very customizable too.
Very customizable. Mm. And also Com100 is a live chat visitor monitor, I think. So I got it on my website. So if you go actually to the website, you'll see a little pop-up. It goes, chat to a technician. And there's a picture of one of my Apple guys, Adrian, looking particularly suave in his Evernet t-shirt.
Let me pull it up.
And yeah, and it's and then obviously if you click through that, it asks you for your name, email address, and things, and then it goes through, and then I've got the screen on my second monitor, so I can monitor who exactly is on my website at any one time.
You're doing this. You're doing this right. You didn't pick the picture of the girl with the headset for your chat picture.
Yeah,
you picked a real guy.
Got rid of that real guy because I was like, people like to see a real person. And so if you go on the about page, there's a picture of all the staff we got, and kind of a bit trivial stuff like what they like. So I like Ben and Jerry's ice cream, so I put on there likes Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and people kind of find that a bit more personable. And so yeah, I got a chat request from Steve.
Just testing it.
Just testing it.
Very good. Very good response time.
Yeah. So and then I've used it a couple of times. And because some people don't want to ring the number, maybe because they're, I don't know, afraid of speaking to someone.
Right.
But some people are really quite like the idea of instantly chatting to someone and being able to get it sorted.
I'll tell you what, you're definitely on the right track. The more ways you can have somebody easily contact you on your site, the better. And your site's really good. You got the form that they could just fill out if they don't want to chat or if they don't want to call on the phone. You got the phone number if they do want to call on the phone. You get the chat if they want to talk to somebody but they don't want to speak with words like audio. So the more ways you can easily have your customers contact you, the better. And it's really good because they're going to do whatever's most comfortable for them. And each person has a different level of comfort. Some people don't like to call on phones. They just don't like to talk to strangers, you know? So they might like to just do the email form. But some people want to talk to somebody, but they don't want to just pick up the phone, so they chat. So that's another really good tip. What's the name of that service again that you're using?
It's Com100. That's COMM 100. It's an open source. It's open source website, so you can just download it, install it. It took me about. It's a guy got WordPress installation. It took me about 5 minutes to edit the header and just stick it in, and I mean I can track people in real time, so I can now see. I've got more people on I've got 8 people on my website now, and it's usually never that full. I've usually only got 1 or 2 at a time.
You can see who's on there in real time?
Yeah, I can see Steve's from Tampa, Florida. Someone's from London, England. Someone's in Herndon, Virginia. Someone's in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I'm looking for the people who are in Swansea, Wales, because obviously they're the people who are here. All the other people are just on there to look at it. It also tells you the referrers as well. So if I go to the referral box, quite a lot of them are being referred from justin.tv/chat.
That is right on. It's beautiful. You know,
it tells me a time zone as well. It's so much information, and it's just a nice little.
I used to use a program called Woopra, which was beta forever, so I thought it was awesome, and then finally started charging, and it's like it's like $30 a month, and it does what you're saying here, but it costs money. This is free. This sounds awesome.
Free, open source. It's because I mean, someone just mentioned it in passing on I think it's podcast 291, and I was like, oh, I'm looking for a chat because I was reading about I was looking at paid chat services, and they were saying, oh, you get 80% more customer response from chats and things.
Really?
You get lower lost sales, and I was like, I was looked into it, and then someone just said, oh, Com100, just kind of briefly, and I actually looked into it, and it's a really customizable. I mean, if you go through to the chat, you can put your own logos and stuff on there.
Live chat video.
Oops, sorry, John. The audio
Com100
started.
provides open source and.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, I think it's a bit of an underrated service because I haven't seen that many people use it, but apparently like Dell use it, and I mean, if you go on the website, it shows you a big long list of big companies that use it, and I think it's a pretty good service. I mean, for free, and I'm getting and I can see where people are going in real time, so I can track people what pages they're going to.
Awesome.
And how many times they've been there, what their IP address is, and it's just nice to kind of have a look.
That's super awesome. Now, is it just tracking the chat, or is it tracking everybody who goes to your website?
Everyone who goes to the website.
Beautiful.
So there's now 12 people on there, and I can see people as in real time as they change page. So person from Gatesburg, Maryland, has just changed page from the home page to the store page, and I can just see, I can track people in real time which page they're on, and obviously if they're stuck on a page for a long time, I might invite them to a chat. If they've clicked the close button, I can click invite and it'll pop up again, with a little ding. Are you sure did you really want to talk to a technician? If they've been there for like 10 minutes or so,
Right.
I'll say, "You all right? Do you need any help?" And that you can have it automatically pop up and stuff.
Super awesome. I love it. Now, I wanted to talk to Adrian. Why did you pick up?
Because Adrian's, I put him on there because he looks nicer than I do. The girls just the girls enjoy a lovely picture of a nice olive tan Spanish man rather than the very pale looking nerdy geek. Only reason, he looks better than I do in a photo.
Okay,
so
just checking. That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm not sure you can customize it for every technician or something.
Right.
I think I might be able to look into that, but I don't think people really care. I think if they click chat to a technician, they don't really care who it is, as long as it's someone who works for the company.
Definitely.
And there's an iPhone app, but there's not an Android app. I emailed them and they said they did have an Android app, but it crashed, so they had to pull it for a while. So,
but there'll probably be one soon.
So you can have it on your iPhone.
Looks like BlackBerry.
Hopefully,
yeah. Looks like they have a BlackBerry,
BlackBerry and yeah. So it's, if you've got an iPhone or BlackBerry, obviously I think you can do it on your phone as well, so you can like be in real time. Which, I mean, if you're very mobile, that would be pretty good.
Nice. Another good tip, man. I like it. What else you got?
Networking. I'm trying to edge in a little bit into. I call them micro business, which are kind of like one or two kind of employees businesses. So a little bit step down from the small businesses, because I've been listening to the Podnutz Pro, which I just like to say is an awesome podcast. And I'm not sure I'm confident enough to go into kind of supporting servers and everything, but I kind of want to build on my knowledge and kind of get my foot into the door into business world.
Right.
So I started going to these networking breakfast meetings that are on Thursdays at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Where?
And
Where are they?
Held all around the UK. There's one in Swansea, and there's about 5 or 6 all across South Wales. And I also, coming back to call that girl, when on her podcast, she was trying to sell her social networking ebook.
Yes.
And I bought that and I read it, and she was like, "Oh, you have to go out and meet people, because you can't just you can't just send emails and letters out to people. If you go out and network with people physically, you get a much better response." So I was a bit skeptical, and then I was like, "Oh, well, what am I going to lose?" So I went out, and last week was my first networking breakfast, and it was really good. And I've got a couple of calls out to go and have like a sit-down meeting for like an IT evaluation, because their computer support guy's a bit rubbish. So they want to kind of, they want to know what I do better than he might do. I think it's a really good idea to, if you're kind of looking to get into business, to network a little bit. And
how do these
networking?
Yeah, I agree. How do these meet? We must have a little bit of a lag. How do these meetings work when you actually go in there? Everybody just sits down around round tables, and you just shake everyone's hand and say, "Hi, I'm John." And how does it work?
So it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. So you go there, you register, and 8 o'clock you get unlimited coffee, and it's kind of a networking half an hour. So you put all your promotional stuff on the table, and you kind of take one of everyone else's, and you kind of just have a coffee and just talk to other people, and then you sit down and have a big breakfast, a big all-you-can-eat breakfast, and you just then stand after the breakfast. Everyone stands up and has a 30-second slot saying, I'm John from Evernet Support. I do laptop repairs. I'm looking to kind of expand my small business portfolio or something. And then you get like 3 one-to-one interviews for like 5-10 minutes, and so you can kind of chat to another business, and they can try and sell products to you. You can try and sell products to them, and it's kind of more a social thing as well. So you get to actually know people, because obviously if you're trying to get into the business world, you might not meet the person that you're going to do the end client, the end business for. But they say, "Oh, I know another business who might need your services." So I mean, it's basically trying to know as many people as possible, and hopefully Well, the idea is hopefully that someone bites and goes, "Oh yes,
Right.
I think it's a really good idea. Can you come and help me?"
So that's cool. So it's relatively structured. I mean, you don't have to. You have a slot that you're assigned where you have to stand up and tell your thing. So it's not like you have to go shake people's hands and meet them. Like if somebody's like wants to do what you're doing, is what I'm saying, and they're a little scared to just like be a little aggressive and meet and go introducing themselves to people. At least they have the comfort of knowing there's going to be a time at this meeting where you could stand up and tell your spiel, and at least people will recognize you from that. So even if you're a little shy, you could still get your message out, and then just it'll break the ice for you.
Yeah, I mean, the first half hour is supposed to be like an ice breaking, and it felt more like kind of an informal chat. You just stand around, you have coffee, and you're chatting more so than plugging or pushing anything.
Right.
So I know in Call That Girl, she was quite talking about aggressive marketing and kind of really pushing your message out. And I mean, yeah, that's good as well. But I was a little bit nervous to begin with. I was a bit tentative, kind of like I wanted to test the waters a little bit. But I found it was good. It's I was a little bit shy when I went, and I was a bit like, oh, I'm the new person, and they'd all been there several times before, and but I mean, they welcomed me in. They said, "Oh, hi, how are you? What's going on?" And it was really quite. It was more of a friendly setting, more so than a
Right.
hard sell setting, which I found kind of much more relaxing because obviously after 10 minutes being there and people are just chatting with you,
Right.
I found it was just quite relaxing to be there, and it was I felt a bit relieved after a while. I was just talking and just chatting. It was good.
Very good, man. Great tip. Now, how do you find out about where these things are? How did you find out about it?
This network is called 4networking.biz. That's the number 4 and then networking.biz, B-I-Z. And that's the company that do these business breakfasts. This costs £10 to go as a guest for each breakfast, but you get like an all-you-can-eat breakfast and as much coffee as you can drink. So I usually get through £10 worth of coffee anyway.
But how did you find that site and that group?
I was I was reading the Call That Girl ebook, and she said type into Google business networking and your area, and that was number 1. I clicked through, and it's a national thing. So there's they got centres all across South Wales, Bristol, all across the UK, and I was like, oh, I can. I'll join up and see how it goes. So I've been to a couple of the kind of taster sessions, and now gonna. I know it's about £200 for 6 months membership, but I mean, even if you get one contract out of that, it can be worth much more than that. So, and I mean, it means I have a breakfast really, and I get a nice sit down, have a coffee with lots of nice people.
So if you're hungry, that's a bonus too.
Yeah, you get fry up. I mean, a fry up and a coffee for less than a tenner. Oh, yeah, it's not that bad.
So I actually the Call That Girl book was $10, right?
Yeah, £10. Yeah.
Guys, she's charging way too low for that book, so you might as well go grab it before somebody convinces her to raise the price. So.
I know you're trying to bully her to raise the price, and I listened to the podcast like 2 weeks after it was broadcast. I was like, I hope she doesn't change the price. I want to get it for £10.
$10. I mean, it's a good price. So.
That's pretty low. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's I mean, I had a Twitter account, but I didn't really know. I knew how to use Twitter, but I didn't really know how to use it effectively.
Right.
So it kind of does detail kind of like how to make connections and things. And even with the 4 networking, you meet other businesses and then they follow you and you follow them, and then it just kind of it grows a little bit. So you can kind of so now I've got all my WordPress. So when I write a blog and click the publish button, it goes as a tweet, which is nice. Some people go through the tweets and click on the link, and they can read the full blog post. And I just recommend buying the Call That Girl ebook. Just
good.
It was good.
Very good.
So yeah. Moving on, I got customer stories. I've got some interesting customer stories.
Okay.
One of my very good friends, she came in with a Samsung laptop and the hard drive had died, and she goes, "Oh, can you get my data off?" And I was like, because she dropped it, and I was like, "I don't think so." And she cried. She was sat in the chair and she cried, and I felt so bad. But there's nothing I could. She dropped it off the table, and
wait, did you try first? Did you try?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I put it in Windows, that didn't work. I put it in Ubuntu, and that didn't work. And I was like, if it doesn't see it in Ubuntu, I'm not sure what else you can really do with it. And I mean, when you powered on, you can hear this tick, 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 tick. And I was like,
Mm.
that's not good. And she's like, oh, I got all my photos on there. I said, oh, so when was the last time you backed it up? She goes, oh, well, I didn't. And I go, oh dear. But now she does back up, so that's good. But I see, I'm trying to sell backup software to students just because no one ever does backup, and I mean, especially if they got the dissertation in the next morning and they
Right.
phone you up at some ungodly hour and they're like, I need it back now. And it's like, well, if you got backup software, you can do it yourself, really. So I'm
Right.
trying to encourage. So I'm a reseller of Carbonite, and I'm trying to recommend Crash Plan as a free alternative. Um, which I mean, you can put like a 4 GB memory stick in, and it'll just automatically back up documents
How
and
did
important pictures and things.
how did you become a reseller of Carbonite?
You go to the Carbonite website, and I think there's a I just typed in reseller Carbonite into Google, and it was one of the first links on there.
Good.
What annoys me is all the currencies in US dollars, so they bill you in US dollars, but then they charge. So the price that they show is US dollars,
Oh
but they
man.
charge it in pounds. So it's like instead of like $59.99, they charge you £59.99.
No
Like
way.
yeah, no. And I wrote to them, I was like, what? And they go, oh well, there's no way at the minute to change the currency. And I was like,
Oh my God, man. They really do that? They
yeah.
they
So
blamed it
now
on
I've stopped.
they blamed on a
Yeah,
lack of conversion technology?
yeah. And I was like, PayPal, anybody? So I don't resell Carbonite anymore unless people really, really, really want it.
That is
Because I mean,
bad.
60 pound, $60 is not too bad. £60, that's a lot of money.
That is
But well, that's a
bad.
bit pushing the boat. So I don't sell them. So I recommend Crash Plan because it's free and it's automatic,
Yeah.
and it's a nice little program. So it's free, user intuitive. So I mean, you click, 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 and it's done.
Right.
So I set that up for students, and they love it. So
Nice.
um,
Nice. What? I
but
can't
yeah,
believe
I,
Carbonite did that. Wow. That's
I
bad.
know. I wrote to their customer service, and they were like, "Oh, sorry. Well, there's not a lot we can do." And I was like, "Well, you're gonna have to do something because you said it was gonna be $59.99,
Right.
and you charged me in pounds, and in pounds it's probably like $80 or
Right.
$90." And I'm like, "You obviously overcharged me massively." So yeah, they refunded me a little bit of it, but I wasn't happy, so
No,
I'm
I
not.
wouldn't be either. That's like it's just criminal.
So yeah, I was terrible. I had another laptop in. A guy came in with a HP was G60 or something. It had this massive graphics card. It was about a 19-inch screen. It weighed like 5 kilos, and it had like its own dedicated graphics card and stuff. And he's going, "Oh, this Fallout 3 game." He goes, "It won't run. There's a slight lag when I put it on the absolute highest graphic setting." And I was like, "It's a laptop." He goes, "Yeah, yeah, but it's a gaming laptop." And I go, "No, no, no, it's a laptop. If you want to play games at like maximum super high resolution, buy a desktop." And he was like, "Oh, it won't work." So we had to look through, and there was a tiny, literally nanoseconds lag on this thing, and
Right.
but I managed to fix it. There's a free program called Game Booster, and you can download that, and it just killed all the other processes whilst you were using the game, and that seemed to fix it.
Get out.
But yeah, but I was like, well, just turn it down from absolute highest to like medium, and it was fine. But he wanted to play it on highest, and I mean, it's his money, not mine. So,
That's a gamer for you. I mean,
yeah.
how
Um,
much was this laptop? How much did it cost?
he said it cost about £1,200, which is I
All right.
think is like $1,500 or
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
And I was sitting there going, if you want a good gaming machine, buy a desktop because you'll get a better graphics card for for a less amount of money.
Right. No,
But
I
he's
know, I
determined.
know, but I would think if I spent $1,500 on a even on a laptop, I would want to play it at full resolution.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to settle.
Um,
And you got it working
so
too. So
yeah, it was I think it's called Advanced Care Booster. And part of that there's a free program called Game Booster.
Game Booster.
Um,
Cool.
and I think it's by IronNet, ironet.com, and it was really good. I mean, it just terminates it flushes the RAM, or it just terminates all the other processes that aren't being used,
Right.
and then you just start the game, and it seemed to solve the problem. So I benchmarked it. There's a free trial of a benchmarking software to just test all the graphics cards, just to see if that was a problem. And I mean, it surpassed all tests. It was like off the scale some of the time, so
Damn.
it wasn't a problem there. There wasn't a problem with the graphics card.
Good job, man.
So. So yeah, it was a little free program, and he was happy with that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it works fine now. It's great." And I was like, oh, "Fair enough." So, also had this girl phone me up saying internet had stopped working. She couldn't get on the internet. So I assumed it was some kind of virus or malware, because about 30 to 40% of the stuff I get is virus related. LimeWire, FrostWire, Kazaa. I think if that's still around somewhere. People just download free music. And I keep trying to tell people it's not free, because you've got to pay me to get the virus off it.
Right.
So that album that you downloaded, you thought it was free. No, it cost you 40 quid for me to take the virus off. So is it really free? If you bought it off iTunes, yeah, it was £10. That's still a quarter of the price of what you got to pay to have it repaired.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I try and educate people, but they never listen. So I thought this was a virus. So I go on around and I go, yeah, this Internet Explorer is not working. So I'm having a fiddle around, and I realise it's a 64-bit laptop. And I'm looking through it, and I'm sitting there going, well, why is she using a 32-bit Internet Explorer? And for some reason, she'd installed the 32-bit and not the 64-bit on the 64-bit machine, and it ran. And you could get like a couple of pages in, and then it used to freeze and crash. So it took Internet Explorer off, put Chrome 64-bit on, and it went fine.
Really?
So I assume it was something to do with the 32-bit. She was just clicking on the wrong version. So
I think you can run.
Take all the Internet Explorer off.
I think you can run 32-bit IE on 64, but I guess maybe it doesn't. Well, if that fixed it, then that's the solution. But
it fixed it. But I mean, it used to kind of freeze a little bit, and I mean, it used to connect to the network fine. It connected to the internet fine. It pinged everything absolutely fine.
Right.
So there wasn't a problem connecting. It was the browser. So I at first I thought it was a virus that was stopping it, and then ran virus checks and things, and nothing. And
maybe it was just IE.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Which is I instantly recommended. Oh, Chrome would be much better.
Right.
Just because Chrome's, I say, there's less buttons on Chrome, so it's less chance that someone's going to mess it up. I don't like people going into the settings and changing stuff, because that doesn't usually work. No. So Chrome, I mean, you just type if you're searching like the address bar and search Google, it's all in the same bar. Just click enter. So much easier. And people go, "Oh my God, this is so simple. Why haven't I tried this?"
Right.
And I go, "Why haven't you tried it?"
I got to tell you, the tipping point, I think, for me, I'm running Chrome here on this computer, is when I was complaining about Linux Mint when I was trying to play YouTube videos on Nuts at Night. And I did say, this Linux Mint machine sucks. And then Dor emails me the next day, and he's like, you take it easy on the Linux Mint machine. He's like, try Chrome. And I felt bad for the Linux Mint machine after that, because with Chrome it works great. So Linux Mint machine is good. Yeah, good boy. He's being a good boy.
So yeah.
Yeah, Chrome. So but I'm saying that might be the tipping point for me to get off Firefox and onto Chrome. So now I'm definitely using it exclusively on one machine. Let's see how it works, and then I'll probably switch over eventually. We'll see.
I've got all 3 browsers installed. I use Chrome as my first one, just because I'm the kind of person who leaves 50 tabs open. And Firefox, I don't know, it struggles a little bit with 50 tabs, whereas Chrome kind of doesn't. So I'm not sure.
Really?
I think it's separate streaming technology. It might just be me, and I'm just loading up rubbish on the Firefox, but I find Chrome a little bit easier, more intuitive, and a bit more simple. So I like it. I still use Mozilla Firefox for stuff because sometimes Facebook doesn't quite get it in Chrome, or some sites don't render just right.
Really,
especially TechNet, I can't quite get right in Chrome, so I go back to Internet Explorer. To how it was supposed to be designed.
Yeah, of course.
Well, Microsoft designed it, so I thought, I might go back. So yeah, so that's good. Also, I've been doing a lot of damage assessment forms for insurance companies. Quite a lot of students around here have got accidental damage on their laptops, which is a good idea because the amount of screen replacements that I do is hideous. There's so many people come in and go. So some people come in, and the excuses that they make are almost funny, to the point that this guy came in and goes, "I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know what on earth happened last night, but I turned my laptop on this morning. I can't remember a thing what happened last night, but it just won't turn on. So he said he'd left it. He thought he was in a puddle or something because it was wet, but he had no idea what was going on. So it was something to do. He literally dropped this lap, like it was submerged in water, and I was like, try to dry it out a little bit, and I was like, no, that's not. It's not going to turn on. So no, he was.
That's
he was a little bit
pretty
upset.
upfront of him.
Yeah, because he's just, I'm not gonna lie. Some of them come up with all the weird excuses, like, "Oh, it just fell out my hands," and I was like, "You mean you dropped it?" And they go, "No, no, I didn't drop it. I held it, and it just fell." And so you, oh, no, I'm just. So quite a lot of them got accidental damage insurance. So I'm doing loads of these damage assessment forms that the insurance company send over to fill out to say that I've looked at it and say it is broken and it was accidental damage and not on purpose, and sign it off and things. So I think people have just been really, I don't know, clumsy with them. Most of the time, these so you give them a quote of how much it'll be to repair, or that it's not economically viable to repair.
Right.
And the insurance company usually goes, they usually turn around and say, yeah, actually, you pay for it because it's cheap. You're cheaper than our contractor. Or they'll say, if their contractor's cheaper, they'll say, oh, actually, no, we'll take the laptop and we'll fix it.
Really?
So. Yeah, for screen repairs, they usually say you're a bit cheaper, we'll actually get you to do it. But if it's like virus removal or something, they'll get their contractor to do it because it's much faster and easier and cheaper, ultimately, at the end of the day, for the insurance company for them to do it. So,
interesting.
Which is fair enough. At the end of the day, it's the insurance company who's going to pay. So,
right, exactly.
I'm going to plug Super Anti-Spyware. Because over between Christmas and New Year, they're having some kind of technicians deal, reseller deal, and all the licenses were $9.95. So I bought 10 because it was like half price. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get loads of these. And I emailed Mike Duncan, I think, is the contact for Podnutz, isn't he? And I said, oh, I heard about him from Podnutz.
Nice.
And I put the link on the front page. So on the front page at the bottom, there's a link to Super Anti-Spyware. And he goes, okay, thanks for doing that. And you get and here's 2 free professional unlimited licenses as well, just for mentioning Podnutz and for putting a link on your website. So if you're looking for a couple of spare licenses and you want to be a reseller, you just sign up and it's Mike Duncan, I think. I think you've got his contact. Yeah.
It's definitely Mike.Duncan@superantispyware.com. Thank you for telling him that Podnutz sent you. See, you get perks. You get perks.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, thanks for hearing us about Podnutz. Here's a free license, and thanks for putting a link to like a refer link back to their website." I think a couple of people have bought them through that link, which I mean is business for them, and it's kind of I get a referral as well,
Absolutely.
so it's good for everyone really. So
absolutely,
that sounds good. Yes, moving on to, I've got a YouTube video. So now I had my friend Adrian, actually, he's my Apple Mac guy. He's also doing media production at Lincoln University, which is on the other side of the country. And he actually made me a promotional video. So on the homepage, just underneath the contact form, there's a click here to see our promotional video. It should pop up in a light box. It's about, I want to say a minute 30, about a minute 30.
Okay, let's see it. Ready? We're not going to play it. Is that cool?
Oh, yeah, play.
Click here to see our video advert. Here we go.
Hi, I'm John. I'm the lead technician from Evernet Support, and we're the only laptop repair centre created exclusively for students in the Swansea area. There are 2 ways you can get your laptop fixed. You can bring it to us, or we can come to you. Much like a breakdown service on a car, we aim to fix laptops on site and within an hour. If we can't do this, we'll take it back to our base and we'll try and get it repaired and back to you as soon as we can.
It's a blue screen.
We use a variety of specialised tools to get inside your laptop, find out what's wrong, and then fix it.
Was that you fixing that laptop, John?
Yep, that was me.
Oh, you tore that thing apart, man. I love that. Let me.
It wasn't. That wasn't the real speed.
All right, let me continue playing it.
Or memory card, we've got the equipment to safely recover your data. Laptops slow down after time. Our PC Health Check service, which is free with every repair, will extend the life of your laptop and help speed it up. We call out to the Student Village, Bryn Mill, Uplands and Sketty. We can also meet you on the university campus, or you can drop it off at our base if you like. If for more information about our products and services, you can go to evernet.co.uk.
Very cool, man. That's awesome.
That took like 6 hours of shooting just for those 10-second clips of
Hey, 6
me
hours.
looking at a laptop.
6 hours is not bad. That's pretty good. Hey, it's good to have people. You have people now. You know, the video editor, designer.
Yeah, so he designed my logo as well, so I'm very pleased with him. And he does all my Apple Mac queries. So if someone rings up and go, "Oh, my MacBook's died," I go, "Adrian, come and deal with it," just because he's more. Still use Windows 7, and I got Ubuntu on a VirtualBox, but I don't really know that much about Apple's, so and he's got everything. He's got iPhone, iPad, MacBook Pro, everything. So he's a bit of an Apple fanboy. So I just let him deal with it.
Nice, good. Hey man, the more people you know, the better. That's great. I think that video is awesome. It's just long enough. It gives reality on you as a person. You know, in the tech website builder, I always say to put a picture of yourself fixing a computer to give people reality that you're there, you exist, you're a real person. It's not a scam. Doing a video like that is a step farther. I think it's great. That's a great idea. Yeah, I love the lighting too, where the whole background's black and it's just the light on your face. Like it was professional. It looked professionally done, man.
Oh, he's really good. He had like this £3,000 camera, and he's really into his course. And yeah, no, he spent half an hour setting up those lights, because he goes, "All the lights just on your face a little bit to the left," and I'm sitting there going, "It's not really going to matter." He's a stickler for detail,
right?
And
that's what you want.
I think that's what. Yeah, it took him like 2 days to do all the post production and stuff on his Final Cut Pro, and and I showed it to me, and I was like, "Wow, we couldn't have asked for more, really."
Seriously.
So, I mean, and I'm not sure that many people watch it. I think it's got 150, 200 views on YouTube. But I think people, prospective clients, maybe you just click on it and think, "Oh, that's a real person. This is what they do," and just kind of tell them a little bit more about it. I think more so because obviously this is the social networking age, and most students. I mean, if you see text and pictures, that's one medium. But obviously, to get video advertising, especially on a website, I think that's a new, well, I say relatively new medium, but it's an exciting medium for students to go click, and the YouTube video pops up, and they can see what I'm like and hear I know I've got a really dull, monotonous voice, so that
it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. Great idea. Another good tip from John here.
So yeah, I mean, you don't even have to have a professional camera or something. I'm sure you can find something on a reasonably decent kind of camcorder or something, and shoot something like that. But it's stickler for detail. Took hours and hours to film, but yeah, it was well worth it.
Oh so. Yeah. Well, how much did you have to pay him?
I don't actually pay him because he runs kind of almost like a web design business as well as media production. So if he says, "Oh, I want a website set up," I set up the domain and the email and all the address. So it's kind of a trade-off. So I use his services, he used my services, and we kind of use them kind of so often that it's kind of trading one off on the other. Right. So I'll pay for his domains, but he'll obviously have to pay all the equipment and stuff to shoot the video. So
good partnership.
Good partnership, good trade-off. So it's a really good idea. Oh, yes, and next Monday, I'm when I did my podcast last time, I was just starting at the Freshers' Fair, which is like the big event for all the new students to Swansea. And next Monday's the Refreshers' Fair, so everyone's come back after Christmas, and there's another chance to sign up to all the societies and for all the companies to hand out their kind of promotional stuff. So I'm going to be there for the day. I'm also going to try and stream live on Justin TV, because I know they've got an Android app. So I'm going to try and work out how to kind of do a bit of live streaming, possibly say, "Oh, this is us. We're live at the Refreshers' Fair," and try and talk to a few people.
Nice.
It might go terribly wrong, but I mean, what's the worst that can happen, really?
It'll be fun.
And it'll be fun, and kind of a video to prove that we were there and things, and talking to people. Right. I think people might like that, but no one probably even watch it. But
it's all right. At least you'll have it recorded. Justin TV automatically records whatever you broadcast anyway, so at least you'll have a recording.
That'd be good. Yeah, so I'll have a good recording, so that'd be good. I'm pretty much out of stuff. I know you've got lots of voicemails, so do you want to crack on with the voicemails?
Yeah, let's do it. Now, I was wrong, because I went through and I played before the show. I pweed all the voicemails, and I listened to them, and most of them we already played. So I think I only have two, but okay. I do have some emails in here and some stuff too. So we'll take a few minutes. Steve D sent me this link. He actually said this would be a good idea for my next laptop repair videos, but I figured I'd throw it at you guys now. It's a link on TechNibble, and it is for the cheapest laptop screw management system that works great. And it's
Oh yeah, I saw that article. That's good.
yeah, it's a basically looks like it's like a big magnet, isn't it? Let's see how it is.
I thought the article I thought was just this piece of A4 paper, and he just drew the laptop with the pen
it
and
is
just
a
put all the
paper.
screws.
Right,
Yeah.
it is a paper. Okay, I just looked at all the pictures. That's how much I focused in. So basically, it is a piece of paper. I actually go over this in the laptop repair videos. I thought it was a magnet, but he's basically putting the screws through the paper. It's a really good idea. I don't go that far in the videos. Through the paper in the same pattern as they came out of the laptop. So, I always said one of the toughest parts about taking apart a laptop is knowing which screws to put where back together when you're putting it back together. Taking it apart is easy. I mean, you could take all the screws out and throw them in a big pile and go whippy, and you'll never be able to get it back together if they're all different sizes. So this is a great method for doing it, and there you go. You just draw a picture of the bottom, make holes in it, put screws through it. Brilliant. See, I like. I'm going to be saying brilliant a lot now. Okay, so that is from Tech Nibble. That's from Steve D. Next email, maybe a voicemail. Let's see what it is. Google voicemail. Here's a plug. I'm playing this on all my shows. Here's a plug for another Podnutz show that I never plug any other Podnutz show. So here's a plug that somebody sent in for me.
Steve, hey, this is Alan over here in Seattle. Man, I was just listening to Podnutz at night, and I just had to call and say, man, I love listening to that show because it just is out there and gets me away from all the tech I listen to all the time. So, man, you guys, if you want to hear a great show that is about tech but kind of cheers you up and you have a good laugh, listen to Nuts at Night. Thanks for the great shows.
That was Alan. I think it was Alan. Let me see.
Steve, hey, this is Alan over here in Seattle.
Alan from Seattle. Promoting Nuts at Night. Yes, it's another show on the Podnutz Network. If you guys don't listen to Nuts at Night, it is a departure from what we talk about here. We get a little, it's later at night. We get a little punchy, and we try to have a little bit of fun. So if you want to get away from tech for a little while, but it's still a tech-centric show, check out Nuts at Night. We have a good time doing it, so hopefully you guys have a good time listening to it. And this is a voicemail that came in 2 days ago from David. Here we go.
Hey, Steve. This is a message for a daily. This is Adam with TechHead PC.
Oh, no, it's not Adam. It's not David. It's for... Google told me it was David, but it's he said Podnutz Daily. It's Adam from TechHead PC. Here we go.
Yeah. MacBook I mentioned last week that I have to replace the screen on. And I watched the videos and stuff online. It looks like it's going to be tricky having to use the hot air gun and all that stuff to get the sealant loose and everything. So I was just wondering if anybody out there in the community had experience doing that. I'm a little nervous about screwing it up, but it is the glass screen that's broken, the display, not the LCD. So that's what I'll have to replace. So if anybody out there has done this and had some lessons learned or anything like that, please let me know. I did look in the forums already, and it looks like nobody's done it since like 2009, so it's been a while. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that, and have a good show. Talk to you later. Bye.
Let me just go.
Just calling in relation to the MacBook I mentioned last week that I have to replace the screen on. And I watched the videos and stuff online. It looks like it's going to be tricky having to use the hot air gun and all that stuff to get the sealant loose and everything. Get the sealant loose. Everybody else doing so. Just had experience doing that. I'm a little nervous.
Okay, so he's replacing a screen on a MacBook Pro. Sorry, I just wanted to replay it because I wasn't sure about the problem he was having with it. Apparently, I guess in a MacBook Pro now, when you have to replace a screen, you have to use a hot air gun to loosen up the glue that's holding it in. I didn't know that, but you got to do what you got to do, I guess. So if anybody has done that, 13-inch, I think the aluminum MacBook Pro, give Adam a call or send him an email. And if you want to share your method with him, he'd probably appreciate that. So that's Adam from TechHeadPC.com. Okay. Let's see what else here. I think we got one more. Yes, we do have one more, and this is from Mr. Tech Pants in the forum. He says, how's it going, Steve? I recently fixed the power jack on a compact Presario 2100. Oh, that's old school. The positive pin was loose, so I soldered a wire from the back of the pin to the point on the motherboard where the original positive pin went through the board. The only thing is, when I attached the wire back to the positive pin, I wasn't neat enough to keep the solder from spilling over to the rest of the metal part that is attached to. So now I have a wire that is soldered to the pin, but the pin doesn't move around anymore because of the overlapping solder. You get what I'm saying? So that the flexibility that the wire is supposed to provide is basically gone now since the pin doesn't move. The laptop works fine, but isn't the purpose of the wire supposed to be for flexibility, which I pretty much canceled out, so to speak? I guess if that overlapping solder even breaks, then the wire that attaches to the pin will still be there to ensure the power gets to the laptop. I don't know. What do you think? I think, Mr. Tech Pants, that if solder overlapped the pin and is touching the metal part that it is attached to, the metal part's usually a ground point. That's usually negative. I would think that it would short out the machine. Not sure how yours is working. But the pin is positive, and usually the metal housing that houses the power jack is attached to the motherboard and becomes a ground point, which is negative. So my best advice is just desolder it. I mean, if it's working fine, it's working fine. I don't know. I don't know the exact setup on the 2100 power jack. I kind of forget. But if it's working fine, I guess you did it right. Maybe the pin you're talking about is a ground point that I'm not thinking of. But if it's the pin that's going to the tip of the power jack, the power adapter, that's positive. You don't want that touching anywhere else on the motherboard. You just want that touching the positive point on the motherboard, not the metal housing around the power jack. So you might have just lucked out and not shorted it out, or maybe you did it right. But my suggestion is just desolder and just neaten up the solder so you're just soldering the wire to the pin, and it's not overlapping or spilling or going anywhere else. Just clean it up, get all that overlapping, as you say, solder out of there because you don't want it shorting out. So that's my best advice for you. You're right. The point of using a wire instead of just resoldering the jack is to add flexibility to the jack in case, the theory is power jacks are soldered onto motherboards, and it's become so brittle that most people, as soon as they trip over their cord, boom, that thing breaks off and your power jack's toast. But if you use a wire, it adds more flexibility so you have some give, so it might not break as easy. And you're right, that is the whole purpose of using a wire. But a sloppy solder job, it scares me, is what I'm saying. So I would go do some desoldering, clean that baby up. John, anything to add on any of the emails or voicemails?
Yeah, just to say if you're soldering it and it just spills over to another, like it sounded like it was just soldering the whole thing together, I wouldn't even turn that on, because if you turn it on and it just goes bang, I'd take all the solder off and then just kind of try to undo it and then try and just do it a little bit more carefully.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you get a tiny little bit that's crossing the positive to the negative, you'll short the whole system out. You click it on and it will just catch fire and burn, and that'll be not very good.
Yeah,
so
it'll smell bad. It won't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spilling solder is scary. So that's our advice, Mr. Tech Pants. Hope that helps. Sorry if it means you have to take your computer apart again, but all right. John, I'm going to end off the show now, but I want to just say thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on, as usual. Where can people find you?
Thank you.
Where can people find you if they want to contact you?
People can find me at it's www.evernet, that's evernet.co.uk, or Twitter is evernetuk, is twitter.com/evernetuk.
Awesome. Great tips today. Hope you come back in the future. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
Cool.
Good to be here. Thank you.
And anybody watching, listening, streaming, want to thank you guys. Stay tuned for Podnutz Pro. We're going to start in probably like 10 minutes or so. See you soon.